have killed myself.
Yeah.
I would have done TV, and the next saying would have been like,
or you would have hit someone with a buckshot.
Yeah.
And been like, I don't know. Now you have to do a comedy benefit once a year for your friends in a wheelchair. Because you decided to
fucking Sarah Connor and try to do a one-arm cock of a shotgun.
What's the one that you spin?
Oh,
He's got
no,
the
wait, man, that's a
shotgun with
repeater.
Yeah, a repeater.
You don't want a repeater.
Yeah. Do the
You'll
spin
fucking
thing.
blow your goddamn foot off. Best case scenario.
Yeah. No, we had fun.
That
man.
was those stories of the alcoholism days are pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Austin.
No, I want to start drinking again, just so I can make this kind of.
You know what? I was helping Norman Hormones Wilkerson move one time.
Yeah.
And or not move. He just had to move a bunch of shit in and out of his house. Him and his wife bought this house and like remodeled it themselves. So they were moving shit in and out of the garage. And while we were moving, I found this pair of like white gloves, like very fancy, like white gloves. And so I put them on, and then I was like just pantomiming lifting stuff like a mime, which was initially a very funny bit. But then after like 20 minutes, I still wasn't helping at all. I was just, like pretending to carry stuff. And they're like, seriously, why are you even fucking here if you're just going to keep doing that? And then I left the patio door open. They're like, close that. The cats are going to get out. And I just pretended to close it. And the cats ran outside, and they just weren't amused. Lulu thought it was very funny. Lulu was there.
I used to have roommates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
But I also did a lot of, the best thing well, not the best thing, but I miss having like roommates that I just didn't know at all. There's like another, because women are fucking retarded. Women will find 3 other women on Craigslist and they'll live together, and within 2 weeks they're like, I love us.
Yeah. They're going on vacation
They're
together.
going on vacation. They're leaving notes on the refrigerator.
You're gorgeous.
And, like, sleeping in the same bed together. Like fucking sleepover. And it's like, you're 28 years old. What are you fucking doing?
That's right.
Whereas, like, 2 men can live together, and you'll be like, yeah, I think his name's Ronnie. I think, he works at like fucking.
Yeah, I think his fucking dad just died or
his
something.
dad died or something, and he's like really. His room is a mattress, a fucking like the kind of boombox they sell to Mexican people at Best Buy, and 6 copies of High Times magazine. And I've only had one conversation with him, and he explained to me what the Dark Carnival was in relation to Insane Clown Posse. And that's it. That's all I know about Ronnie.
Yeah, it's probably my best roommate I've ever had.
Yeah,
actually.
he's a pretty cool guy. He's pretty good about making sure that toilet paper. We've reached an equilibrium with who buys toilet paper when.
That's nice.
And that's what I dig about Ronnie.
See, I've always had my boy. I've never lived with a stranger.
Really?
It's always been, I lived with George and my boy Doug after college in a little house we called Muff Manor.
Yeah.
Where no one was getting pussy.
The shittiest place I lived.
Well, the restaurant owned by an Instagram star shut down by the city of Boston. Nursette had violations of court.
Felt this was necessary action due to the strain on the city resources to responding to calls of lack of.
Calling this a line is a misnomer.
They were overwhelmed, unfortunately. Lots of people without reservations.
Salt Bae is in big trouble right now. His restaurants across America and Europe are closing down one after another, and the latest news, he might get banned from opening any restaurant in the US forever. Yes, forever. On top of that, he's facing serious legal consequences that could even land him in jail soon. So what's Salt Bae doing? He's reportedly trying to move his business to Latin America or the Middle East to avoid these legal headaches. But here's the catch. The American Food Safety Department is not taking this lightly. They're watching his every move closely, making sure everything is by the book. In this video, I'm going to break down the full story, what's going wrong with Salt Bae's empire, the legal risks he's facing, and what this could mean for his future. Let's get started. As you all probably know, Salt Bae is already dealing with a big lawsuit from 24 employees at his Miami restaurant. The allegation, he took all their tips, and while that lawsuit is still ongoing, more legal troubles are brewing that could make things even worse for him. I'll break down the full situation, but first let me explain what's really happening with Salt Bae's empire. His Nusret restaurants have been shutting down rapidly. In the U.S., the Las Vegas location closed earlier this year, and the Beverly Hills restaurant permanently shut its doors in June after just 4 years. The New York Midtown spot is still open, but its future is uncertain. Over in Europe, his restaurants in London and Paris have also closed recently. Before the Boston location closed, almost all his restaurants across America and Europe shut down one by one. When the media asked people about Salt Bay's restaurants, the response was brutal. Around 80% said they don't think Salt Bay's brand is for them. Only about 4% said they like Salt Bay, and 17% were confused but generally not supportive. Plus, some old allegations have resurfaced, adding fuel to the fire. So, Salt Bay's reputation and business are going down fast, and it all started with one big problem: his insanely high prices. The main problem started when Salt Bay pulled a move that really made people mad, and honestly, it's wild. He once charged a customer $1,000 with a completely fake excuse. When the customer Dwayne Miranda pushed back and refused to accept Salt Bay's ridiculous logic, Salt Bay didn't back down. Instead, he called the police on him. Later, Dwayne Miranda came out and fully described what actually happened. He explained how he felt scammed and humiliated, all because Salt Bay wanted to squeeze more money out of him with overpriced steaks and fake charges.
Ordered 2 tomahawk steaks and a rack of lamb for the table. When the bill came, we were shocked by the total. They insisted that we ordered the golden option and charged us $1,000 for each. We absolutely did not order that option. Although we did eat what was brought to the table thinking this was the normal presentation for our order, it was clear that the waiter was trying to take advantage of the situation.
After that $1,000 incident, people really started questioning everything, not just the prices, but the quality too. Dwayne Miranda and many other customers called him out for overcharging and serving food that didn't even match the crazy price tag. But instead of listening or owning up, Salt Bay completely denied it. He claimed his food quality and ingredients are the best in the world. It's like he's blind to the fact that everyone is criticizing him for the same thing: overpriced steak that don't live up to the hype. So instead of fixing the mess, he's just throwing out blind excuses while his restaurants keep shutting down one by one.
It's so expensive.
We are not expensive. This is, perception, not reality. Our product, best of the best.
Comments piled up. Old fans trashed him. What special night? It's just meat with salt. He forgot why we liked him. Salt Bay's first move to handle the drama? Pretended didn't exist. Bad idea. He just kept posting the same old videos, bragging about fancy cuts, rich guests, like he was mocking the critics. But you might be wondering, if all these allegations and shady tricks were always there, how did Salt Bay even get so popular in the first place? Well, that's where some big names come in. Celebrities like Andrew Tate, Conor McGregor, and Sean Diddy Combs hyped him up big time. They showed up at his restaurants, took flashy videos, sprinkled salt with him, all for the views and trends. Salt Bay loved it, of course, because every celebrity shout-out brought him more clout and free promotion for his business. If you look around, you'll even see clips of Andrew Tate talking about Salt Bay, hyping him up like he's some luxury icon.
We have a man who became a billionaire from salt. Yes. From salt. You can all put salt on. He did it the best. Bam. Bro, I know Salt Bay. Not many people know that me and Salt Bay are tight like that. He's my boy. You know who Salt Bay is?
The salt sprinkler man?
Yes. My guy. Me and him met in Dubai. He's my friend. We're going there. We're going to go there, and I'm going to spend a bunch of money, because if I spend enough money, it pleases the gods of fun.
When these so-called alpha males say Salt Bay is great, just imagine how many people fell for that illusion. But it wasn't just Andrew Tate. If you look at another controversial figure, Conor McGregor, he also promoted Salt Bay by visiting his restaurant and influencing others to do the same. And it's not just Andrew Tate and the whole alpha male crowd hyping him up. Even Sean Diddy Combs, who's now sitting in prison facing serious criminal charges, played a part in making Salt Bay who he is today. Just think about that for a second. The man who helped make Salt Bay a trending luxury name is now locked up as a criminal. Imagine the connection. What does that really say about Salt Bay's circle and the kind of people who propped him up all these years? It just makes all those fake luxury vibes look even faker now. Overpriced steaks, shady hype, and celebrity photo ops with people who turned out to be criminals themselves. No wonder it's all collapsing around him now.
Congratulations to my brother Salt Bay. He's opening up his second restaurant in the meatpacking district in New York. You guys have to go. One of the best restaurants in the world. Congratulations to my brother Salt Bay. Yeah.
That's where Salt Bay's rise really came from. These big names and celebrities boosted him with their influence, and that's how Salt Bay got to this position. But his rise wasn't easy.
people are quitting Mario Kart World. This is some scary words to hear, and this is something that I've been looking at for a couple of weeks now, and even a couple of weeks after the game came out. It's approaching 2 months now since Mario Kart World came out, very soon, in about a week, and it's already starting to lose a lot of its players. Now, there's no accurate way of really checking this. This isn't a Steam game. We can't see the charts and stuff and what's actually going on and how many people are and are not playing online, or just the game in general. But I've been seeing comments literally just weeks after the game came out from you guys and from other people online saying they dropped Mario Kart after about a week or two when it released. And that was super confusing to me. I'm somebody that wasn't even really fond of the game from the beginning, and I told you that it had lots of problems. In fact, I'm still working on a very extensive review. A lot of you have been asking me about that. It is about halfway done. I had to take a pause for Donkey Kong Bonanza content. I wanted to just play that because I myself needed a break from Mario Kart World and wanted to play something else. But yeah, if it wasn't for my content that I did on Mario Kart World, honestly, I don't know if I would have been playing anywhere near as long as I personally did. But yeah, a lot of people were quitting very quickly, and I remember seeing messages saying, we're just all waiting for Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm waiting for Bonanza. I'm waiting for Bonanza. And it was kind of a scary thing to see, because this is a brand new Mario Kart game. We haven't had a brand new Mario Kart game in 11 years since Mario Kart 8 originally released on the Wii U. So I felt like this would have been one of the biggest deals for Nintendo ever. And honestly, I'm not seeing that. It's weird. It's almost as if they waited so long, people just don't care anymore. But I feel like the main reason they don't care is just the state of the game. Right now, you can go online and you probably won't get more than 15 to 16 players to fill a lobby out of the 24 that should be filling the lobby. And there's a lot of times I get way less. Honestly, if you go play battle mode right now, you'll probably only get like 6 to 7 real players, which is crazy. I just realized that the other day. I'm not a big fan of battle whatsoever, especially considering the fact that they didn't do anything different with it in this game, and they just made it, completely bare bones. But I wanted to try it out just for the sake of it, and also for the review that I'm writing, and battle mode is just empty. It is completely and utterly empty. I mean, there was a couple times I was only playing with like 4 or 5 people on these big maps trying to find people. It was just ridiculous. But yeah, even the main versus races and knockout tours, like, they're not filling. And this is something that I've been noticing since day one. Well, not day one. I'd say since like week 2, week 3, the lobbies weren't filling all the way. I was only getting like I said, 15 to 16 players. But it seems like a lot of people aren't playing this game. And, obviously the big reason behind that is probably the fact that Nintendo's not letting us play the game that, the way we want to play it. They completely took the option to choose 3-lap tracks from us, or at least make it extremely rare when it pops up now. So yeah, a lot of people are forced to play these intermissions, and I think people are really, truly just getting sick and tired of these intermissions. Like, they keep trying them. I know I was, and they are just really that bad. A lot of them are, at least. And it's just not fun. And I wonder if Nintendo can see this. I'm sure they can see on their end how many people are playing online on their servers and stuff. And maybe this will, send a message to them to make some type of change immediately or do something. Something else, I know a lot of people, said the game just came out. They don't need to announce DLC or updates or anything like that. But I'm like, you kind of do. You got to give some type of, path or some type of outlook into the future, or a plan for a game like this. This is a Mario Kart game that launched with only 30 tracks. Yes, there's a lot of intermissions, but when every single one of your intermissions, for the most part, is extremely disliked online, that means you only have 30 tracks. And on top of that, you're not letting people play these 30 tracks the way they want to. So yeah, there's a big reason why people aren't playing online right now. And people that are, there's like 50,000 people that are simply just only playing on Discord lobbies in that giant Mario Kart Discord server, where they're just joining, custom lobbies where people are running nothing but 3-lap tracks. I myself was doing that for a while because it was like 10 times more fun than dealing with the intermission tracks online and just dealing with item luck. So yeah, and that's the thing, a lot of us Mario Kart fans, almost every single one of us Mario Kart fans, have all come together and pretty much have the same conclusion. This game's mechanics is one of the best mechanics we've ever witnessed ever in Mario Kart. It is some of the most smooth, fun gameplay. I love the wall and rail riding. I think the trick system is super cool and super rewarding when you pull off a crazy trick on like Bowser's Castle Castle or Great Question Block Ruins, for example, and it feels so good to do. But you can't do any of this stuff when you're driving straight down a highway. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with this game right now. And I don't know how Nintendo's going to fix this. You know, I thought for sure they'd come out by now and have like an extra mode where it's just like nothing but 3-lap tracks. But no, there's been no real updates. Every update that they've added has just straight up taken stuff away. They've like patched a couple small things. It's been, like I said, almost 2 months, and there hasn't been any sort of news of an, you know, important update or anything significant to the game. No news at all. It's like Nintendo's just completely quiet with this game. And like I said, they need to have a roadmap of some sort. This is not the type of game that you just drop and you leave alone and you don't talk about again for months. This isn't a single-player adventure game. Yes, you can play single-player. You can play in the free roam and stuff. But here's the thing that I've noticed. You know, I feel like most people are jumping in the game, playing through the cups, you know, playing through, you know, whatever the tours or whatever it is for the, you know, what is it called? The Knockout Tour. But playing through those and also going through free roam and collecting the P-Switch missions, collecting the coins and stuff. And I feel like when people are done with that, they're done with the game. They're putting it down. I'm still on my way to 100% free roam. I'm very, very close. But I feel like once I do, it might be my excuse to just be done. Because, like, what else is there? There's really nothing else drawing me back to this game. Yeah, I can jump on and play a couple of matches on a Discord lobby or try out a couple matches online. But it's just so frustrating with the straightaways and the intermissions. I just, you know, don't want to play more than 2 or 3 games, and then I'm just tired. And that's what's happening with a lot of people, it seems like, right now. So many people. And I'm reading these comments online of so many people saying, like, I'm just bored of Mario Kart World. Even content creators, even Mario Kart content creators are struggling out here. They're posting videos almost every single day trying to get Nintendo to listen. And you guys probably see them and stuff. And it sucks because, you know, these are content creators that made tons of content from games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Mario Kart 8's original. That's what is so crazy about this. I feel like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which was just a port with a couple new content added, you know, it was more than a port, more like a remake for the Switch. But it was a remake for the Switch from a Wii U game. And I feel like more people were excited and interested and gave more viewage and attention and engagement towards that game than this game, which makes no sense to me. Because this is a brand new Mario Kart game, you know, from the ground up made for the Switch 2. 11 years in progress. Not that long in progress, but, you know, it took 11 years for this to come out. And people don't even really care about it that much. Like, it's just completely flown under the radar. It blew my mind that this wasn't, like, the most popular thing to talk about online. Like, it was popular for, like, 2 weeks, and everybody just stopped talking about it. And I'm not going to say I don't understand why. I know very well why. But, like, yeah, Nintendo needs to pump some life into this game. There's a rumor that there's a Nintendo Direct this month, and the last week for it to happen is next week. And as Nintendo Direct, if they don't have any information about Mario Kart World, this game's dead. You know what I mean? I mean, this game is just straight up going to be dead because people don't have anything to do. Like, another just thing is at least use these intermission tracks. Like, you know what I mean? If they're in the game already, use them. Why in the world is there only 8 Knockout Tour Cups? Why? Why are we forced to play on the same 8 tracks every single time and then end on the same 8 3-lap tracks every single time? It's just like, there's all of these over 200 intermissions, and Nintendo hasn't had more than 8. There should have been more than 40 from the start. This stuff is in the game. Like, these tracks exist already. It's not like they're adding, you know what I mean? And that's probably what they're going to end up doing, is just adding more knockout tours. And it's going to feel like content. Like, that's the thing, too. If Nintendo does add all these updates, are people still going to even care? Because I'm sure they're going to add more costumes, maybe some more NPC characters, maybe some more, maybe like a DLC pack for Donkey Kong Bonanza. I've been hearing some rumors that might happen. Maybe like a young Pauline character, some skins and costumes for Donkey Kong and stuff. That could happen. Is that enough to really make people interested in the game, though? Like, oh, a new character to drive straight with. Like, you know what I mean? So Nintendo's going to really have to announce something big. And I feel like also if they announce something like new tracks coming, they are also going to kind of put themselves against the wall because people are already upset with the outrageous price of this game, which I still think is completely unjustified by the game's content. They're going to be like, you really want us to pay an extra $25, $30 for DLC for this game? You got to be kidding. Get out of here. So I feel like if Nintendo's going to add anything to this game, it has to be free. They have to fix this intermission stuff by either making them better, tweaking them, adding obstacles and stuff on them, coming up with some type of, fun mode, something. They have to come up with something because this game is not going to make it.
You know what's so funny about this? I literally said this was gonna happen. Because I saw the promotional videos for this game before it came out. And I was like, this looks like a really large map with literally nothing to do. Like, how fun is it gonna be to just run around with no point, It's just, maybe if you're like 10 years old or 8 years old and this is your first like racing game. Beto, lo que estoy diciendo es que cuando miré las promociones para este juego, sabía que no iba a durar mucho tiempo siendo popular porque no tiene el contenido necesario para hacerlo ni es tan bueno. So yeah, no, look, I really want Nintendo to fucking fail. I really want Nintendo to fucking fail. Only because, or like 80% of my desire for them to fail is just because they decided to sue Palworld. They've been suing people into poverty for years. For really like minor things, I would say. And they're fucking bitches. That's it, Let's keep watching the video, I'm sorry.
This game is not going to make it past, to the end of this year, even. People are already just super, like, Bonanza is a brilliant game. Donkey Kong Bonanza is one of the best games I've played from Nintendo in years, and I feel like it is going to just overshadow everything Mario Kart for a while. And, and then before you know it, everybody's moving on to the next, big and best thing. Oh, when's Metroid Prime? Oh, when's Kirby Air Ride? Kirby Air Ride might blow Mario Kart out the water. And I didn't even think that was even a chance, because at first I was like, man, they should have really spaced these games out. But now I'm sitting here like, because I was like, man, Mario Kart is just going to triumph over Kirby and knock Kirby out the water. But I don't know anymore. I think Kirby might end up doing the opposite. If Kirby plays his cards...
I'm really happy that so many people have been, like, burned by buying Mario Kart World.
Right. I mean, if it has, like, a fun city trial mode again, with, like, multiple maps and then, like, fun racing modes and stuff, because it's just straight racing in that game. Hopefully they don't add intermissions in Kirby Air Ride. But... yeah, Kirby Air Ride might become the ultimate racing game over Mario Kart. I mean, seriously, it's crazy to even think about that, but it might very well happen. It's just a crazy time, and it's just also Nintendo. I feel like they're just like this new secretive Nintendo now. They've been like that with the Switch 2's even like reveal. They're holding their cards really, really, really close to their chest, and they're not really giving us any information about anything until like the very last second. I mean, we have like 3 games slated for the end of this year, and Nintendo hasn't given us a single release date for any of them. Some of them don't even have actual gameplay trailers. Like Hyrule Warriors got like a 5-10 second snippet. Kirby has no gameplay trailers, and Metroid Prime 4 has had a couple trailers here and there, no release date though. I'm like, what's going on? What's the plan here? So hopefully, like, for Nintendo's sake, I almost feel like they have to have some type of general Nintendo Direct next week. Like, they have to, because there's so many games for them to talk about. We don't even know what the holiday season game is, if there's going to be one outside of Pokemon. We just need release dates, trailers. We need information on Mario Kart World updates. Like, I don't see a world where we get a Nintendo Direct next week and there's no Mario Kart World updates. Like, what do we do? Like, we have to mentally prepare ourselves, because what happens if that happens? Like, is the game just done? Do we just move on and just forget? Like, are people all going to move back to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Like, what is going to happen? People are already doing that, by the way. There's literally people posting, like, hashtag back to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or something, which is crazy. Like, we've already spent 11 years playing Mario Kart 8, and it looks like we're going to spend, like, 8 more. Like, who?
That's what they get from fucking buying the same slop that Nintendo keeps releasing. Like, I remember, it was so cool back in the day when, like, a new Mario Party was announced. It was like, oh my god, yeah, more mini games, you know, we get more choices. But I don't think they've actually done anything that's been like really. I'm not even gonna say for like the whole industry, but just for that game franchise, anything that's meaningful ever since the GameCube, probably. Because after the GameCube, we got the Wii ones, and those were basically like GameCube, you know, GameCube games with motion controls. And ever since the Wii, they've just been redoing the same games over and over again. Mario Kart, they stopped innovating in the GameCube too, with the release of I think it was the sixth one that was released for the Wii. It really hasn't changed. Like you play the Mario Kart 6, you play Mario Kart 8, you play the 7th, you're gonna be like, this is the same game, man.
Who knows when the next Mario Kart's gonna be? People are already looking forward to the next Mario Kart because of just, you know, where this one, you know, took its direction. And like I said, I know I'm making it seem like Mario Kart World's like the worst game of all time. It's not. It's a really good game, but it's just severely flawed.
It's a game for babies. It's a literal game for babies. Look, Mario Kart, I'm pretty sure it's the perfect game for a child that is like 4 years to like 10, you know? If you're that age and you got Mario Kart, you're going to be happy.
And I feel like right now, there's nothing, you know, online is what really keeps people coming back and playing your game. That's what keeps people coming back and playing Splatoon. You know, Mario Maker and stuff, adding things online, you know, having that big online player base, playing other people's levels and, you know, playing against other people. So they need to have updates. They need to have something to keep people engaged. Some type of, you know, events, tournaments, something, add some modes, fix this 3-lap track thing, just have a mode for 3-lap track.
Now that I think about it, I haven't seen much Splatoon porn ever.
Racing only, like classic Mario Kart.
Do you think there would be like a ton?
They got to make some changes. So hopefully they take this criticism and feedback, and hopefully they can see that people aren't playing online as much. But without a solid online mode, your game is not going to last long. Because what else is there to do besides race computers and drive around?
Really,
and after you drive around in the free roam for a couple of hours, a lot of people are going to get bored because there's not much to do outside of some P-Switch missions. I'm not going to say some. There's a.
If we're talking about the people that went and bought the Switch 2 on release day, you know, fuck them. You know, those guys deserve to be fucked.
A lot of P-Switch missions, a lot of Peach coins to collect.
Asking for
but still, outside of free roam,
you know, it's basically like getting to the place, dropping your pants, opening up your ass cheeks, putting on some lube, you know, and then saying, my body's ready. Like, you're looking to get your wallet raped. You know?
It feels like free roam is Mario Kart World, believe it or not, right now. It just feels like that is.
At this point, people should have learned to not pre-order, not to buy day one when it comes to the video games and generally the tech industry.
The essence of the game. It's not meant, you know, for online. It's not meant for racing all that much. It's for free roam, which is weird. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. Are you still playing Mario Kart World? Are you hoping for?
Never started, boy. Never started. Fuck yeah, I feel better now. Okay, made for fetuses?
Today we have a subject that I know for a fact most of you don't care about. We're going to discuss the infantilization of family-friendly video games. Or as my live stream chat likes to call them, baby games. At first, this was going to be a Donkey Kong Bonanza review, but, well, as I played it, I realized the game is so incredibly bland that there's no way I could make a vaguely interesting video about it. And it doesn't really seem like many people actually care about the game because they're still pretty pissed at Nintendo for single-handedly driving up the price of video games to $80. And of course, the Switch 2 itself being overpriced, and Donkey Kong Bonanza honestly just didn't even really look that interesting outside of the punching through walls gimmick, which many other games have done by now, and arguably better than this game. And as you probably noticed if you watch my channel over the years, when I review mid games, those are usually the least interesting videos. So instead, let's just talk about the death of baby games in general. I don't know if this is yet another sign of the impending idiocracy, or arguably we're already there, but I'm sure all of you have noticed how hand-holdy video games have become over time, whether it's this newest yellow paint phenomenon, or the fact that every single game has to have an at least hour-long tutorial before it lets you play the game. But honestly, I feel like DK Bonanza is a new level of stupid.
Oh my god, I fucking hate that. Especially, like, look, guys, I understand it. There's a lot of people that are just coming into the gaming landscape, and they don't know the basics. They don't know the rules. They gotta be handhold. But you know what? Give me the choice. Give me the choice. Maybe this time I don't want to do a tutorial. Maybe this time I don't need to do a tutorial because I'm an experienced gamer. Allow me. Ask me in the beginning. Do you want to take the tutorial? Do you not want to take the tutorial? No, I don't want to take the tutorial. Okay. If you want to know anything, you can just press start and go to the tutorial section, and there you can find everything you need. Boom. Easy. Why you need to hard lock me into a fucking unskippable, boring ass tutorial? So many games have gotten uninstalled just based on that, including Diablo 4.
That really feels condescending. Now, you could argue a lot of its problems are the same exact problems that Super Mario Odyssey had, and as you might know, I despise Super Mario Odyssey. I think it is the worst 3D Mario game by a significant margin. I know a lot of people like to hate on Super Mario Sunshine for being unpolished, but at least it's a challenging game and has fun, unique mechanics. The only interesting thing about Odyssey was Cappy, and taking over enemies was just so bland and one note. Wasn't really used in any truly interesting way. It was purely surface level. And the reason I bring this up is because if you imagine the Cappy mechanic and then just applied it to all of DK Bonanza, you essentially have the game, because punching through walls at first is pretty fun. Destroying the environment in video games is always pretty cool. Red Faction Guerrilla is a great underrated game I reviewed. I think Deep Rock Galactic is a super fun co-op game where the destruction really adds to the shooting experience. Tear Down was a pretty fun indie game where you had to be creative about how you destroy the environment to pull off a heist as fast as possible. But DK Bonanza just doesn't feel like it does anything with the mechanic. Instead, this feels like a game for, well, babies, and only babies. If things like Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Super Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, those are all considered baby games by my edgelord audience, this would be a fetus game. This is truly one of the most brain-dead games I've ever played, to the point where I was losing brain cells in real time, which led to some, well, kind of hilarious retard moments from me. Because this entire game is just